ladies and gentlemen, indeed we all condemn the massacre by Hamas on the 7th of October. We all call for the release of hostages, and we all have to protect and save civilians in Gaza. We have to protect lives and preserve humanity, as you said, rightly so. And in this context, let me present what our contribution is so far and where we want to work more intensively with you. The European Commission knows Gaza very well. For decades, together with the member states, we've been working with the people in Gaza. We have been one of the largest donors to the Palestinian people. This includes, of course, UNRWA, Monsieur le Commissaire Général. So these very close ties that we have established to the people of Gaza pay off, of course, today, because this increases the possibility to coordinate and to answer to the needs. We have started as European Commission to immediately work on these humanitarian assistance to the people of Gaza. We have tripled our humanitarian aid, and in the run-up of this conference, we have quadrupled the humanitarian support for Gaza and the West Bank, but it's mostly for Gaza, up to 100 million euros. And we have launched logistical support to Egypt. Egypt has designated Al Arish Airport in the north of Sinai as a logistical hub. So here we're also working to support and increase the logistic capabilities of this hub. Indeed, Mr. President, as you said, we have launched a humanitarian air bridge. So far, 8 flights have been completed, carrying more than 370 tons of medicines, water, and sanitary items, and we are preparing flights on almost a daily basis. We have made a good experience by establishing a coordination cell with the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent. And we think, and that's what we're doing, that donations should be channeled through this platform to have an optimum of coordination. In parallel, we are also reinforcing the local logistical capacity of the Egyptian Red Crescent, for instance, with refrigerated mobile storage, also by sending our logistic personnel on the ground. Most of our cargoes have already reached Gaza by truck through the Rafah border crossing, but as almost everyone said here, the volumes remain too small to match the massive humanitarian needs. So while we fully support to increase the capacity of aid delivered through Rafah, and this is our first priority, we also need to look urgently as additional routes. So it was called more than one entry point. And this is why we very much welcome and work very closely with President Nikos Christodoulidis from Cyprus to establish a maritime corridor. I think this would guarantee a sustained, a regulated, and a robust flow of aid. Mr. President, you will certainly detail, so I don't have to prolong my comments here, but full support from the European Commission with all the logistics and the possibilities that we have. We will, of course, continue to help evacuate injured Palestinians who received medical assistance in Egypt. This includes also providing medicines and medical equipment to Egypt. This humanitarian effort goes hand in hand with the work to avoid a spillover in the region, and therefore we are also working to give strong support to the region. On Tuesday, I discussed with King Abdullah of Jordan during his visit to Brussels a new economic and financial package to further strengthen Jordan. And I discussed with President al-Sisi also how Europe can work and strengthen, intensify the partnership that we have with Egypt, a whole comprehensive package here. This is for the immediate, but also the mid and the long term, to stabilize the region and to stabilize the most important actors in the region also. Finally, Mr. President, on your third pillar, we also think that as we have to deal with the urgency of today, we must make the effort to think about tomorrow, how to break the current spiral of violence. and how hope can be reestablished between Israelis and Palestinians. For that, they need a political perspective. And this perspective is the two-state solution. And to work here intensively on this one, of course, it's Israelis and Palestinians who will, in the very end, have to agree on a way forward. But we, as a part of an international effort, must also contribute in very close coordination with our friends and partners. Thank you very much, Mr. President.